Yo.
Welcome to another Synfig tutorial, and in this one we will be creating a write on text. Okay, and to do that we will be using the spline tool. So the first thing we need to do is click on the spline tool, and in its layer type make sure that you have the advanced outline layer type selected, right, which is this one here. Then we're going to go and write our text. So let me just left click, and I'm going to be writing the word hello. So let's see how I do that here. And you don't have to worry about how it looks initially, because you can always go in and alter the text after you've created it. Okay, just in case you aren't so satisfied with how it looks, which is what I might be doing afterwards. So that's done, and then press enter, and we have our text. So now we can go in and make a few alterations. Let me just click on the select tool here and just tidy this up a bit. So let me make that change there. Come here. I'm not liking the way this is sticking out like this. So let me just stretch this like so. Move this over a bit. Right. And maybe just alter the O tad bit here. Make it more appealing. Like so. And I think that is good enough for me. You can also right click and add new points if you want. Okay, but I'm not going to do that here because this is looking okay to me. So here we have our text. It says hello. All right. Now let's get to the write on part. Right. So right here, this button right here, make sure to click it. Right, and let me go on my text layer. Actually, let me rename this HELLO. It's always good to rename your layers. But yeah, so when I click this button, notice we are given two additional control points with a circle around them. So let me just toggle it on and off so you can see. All right, so this one and this one. Now what we'll do is, once you click on let me zoom in so you can see. So notice that inside of the circle you'll see a point, right? And if you right click on that point, you're presented with a bunch of options. Now we're not going to go through all these options in the video, but what you want to do is right click it, and then we're going to look for cusp after flat, right? And what this will do is, let me click it. What it has done, it basically cut the shape, right? And sort of separated from the flow. But notice if I left click it and drag it, right? It's actually recreating the shape that it was before, right? I hope that's making sense. But yeah, so with that now done, right, I won't alter the second point here, right? I'll just focus on this one. So with this now done, I'm going to move this all the way over to here. And if you pass this point, you'll get some weird results. So you want to make sure that you move the first point all the way back. You always make sure that the first point is before the final one here, right? So I'm going to go all the way down. And notice it's sticking onto the line. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go all the way down here to maybe there. And I'm going to go to frame 1, maybe, because this is where I want to start my animation. Make sure that you delete the initial keyframe here, because we're now going to animate. And I'm going to turn on the animate button. Let me zoom out a bit. And well, let me zoom in first, then click on the second point here. And I'm just going to move it up slightly. and then move it back. And as we know already, once you turn on animate and move any object within the scene, it automatically creates a keyframe. So there's a keyframe there, and I'm going to go all the way down to maybe frame, let's say 56, and we can tell that we're at frame 56 by looking here or typing it here. Let me zoom out, and I'm going to just left click on this point and just move it all the way to the end, like so. So if I should scrub back, we can see the text is being written on. So let me just play that. And it's as easy as that to create your write on text. Now, the first part here, if you don't want it to start off on the screen like so, you could just go back to that layer and we could animate the opacity. So maybe on frame, it starts at frame 1. So maybe on frame 0, we could change that to 0. And then on frame 1, we could change its opacity back to 1. So it's off and then it's on and it begins to write. Okay. So yeah. So I hope you learned something in this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, MRD.